Let me look for. Sorry, I need to sign in. This is my institution's. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay, so let's assume I need something on give me a topic, COVID and the pregnancy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's say complications of typhoid fever in pregnant women.
Okay. Typhoid.
Complications of.
No, you need to be, that's a long sentence.
Okay. Typhoid fever in pregnant women. Okay.
Typhoid and pregnancy. Okay. So PubMed, I have quite a few. Yeah. So I've chosen this one. For some articles, it will tell you straight where to export it. Some of them don't. Okay. So let's assume this one has not told me how to export it. So to make my life easy, I'll just copy this, the title. I'll go to my Google Scholar. Have I missed it? Are you all still with me? I have copied my title, then search. Can you see it anywhere? If I'm not sure, I come back here. The author is Aurora and this guy, Abby. So this is my article. Okay. I then click on this. It would give me different forms of referencing. If I was going to submit to BCU, I would choose this. But for Chester, it is APA. Most departments in Chester is APA. So I'm going to click on APA. And then it is EndNote that is used in Chester and many, many other institutions. So I click on EndNote. Automatically, it goes to my EndNote. You need to have opened your EndNote before you can do this. So it would ask me, where is my recently added? So I haven't seen it, so that means it hasn't gotten here yet. Okay, so I should have it now. And yes, I do. So I click on it. I go to my Word document, suggested that A, full stop. Furthermore, it has been suggested that typhoid could, the consequences or the what now, the complications of typhoid fever during pregnancy could be fatal. Okay, this is not mine. I've said it has been suggested, so I'm going to assume that that was what I read here. So I click on this. Choose Can you see it?
Sorry, Sister
Now.
Tokumbo, can you go a step backwards? So don't say, just say, I go to tools, I click on
to
whatever
tools, okay.
you're clicking on. Say it. Yeah.
Okay.
So go to tools and then.
Let me come back. I go to, let me choose another reference. So I've chosen my reference, okay? I go to tools, cite while you write, insert reference, and it comes here automatically. Okay? And if you look into your reference list, and automatically arranges it for you.
Yeah.
You can see that this reference is different from this one. This one is ending my sentence. If I wanted to begin my sentence, I would do exactly this. I can then say, I want to say this article again, the Aurora article. So I come back here, I go back to Aurora, I click on tools, cite while you write, insert. Now, don't forget I'm starting a sentence. So I come here and I click on display and year. I can then say this person also explored the effectiveness of blah 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 in the prevention of that. I'm not spelling typhoid right, please. Let me know. Of typhoid during
there's no H.
Typhoid. There's no H here. Okay, all right.
No, there is.
There is after.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Doesn't really matter. Just like
There's no H after T.
Okay. Explore the effect of blah 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 in the prevention of during pregnancy. They mentioned that blah 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 blah. Who has noticed what how I've been writing? Look at this paragraph and tell me what you've noticed.
what I noticed.
Mostly descriptive.
I have been descriptive. Very good. What else have you noticed?
Writing in
referencing.
Third person.
Referencing.
Referencing, yeah.
Referencing, and I'm writing in third person.
That answers the first question from.
That answers the first question.
This is what it means to write in third person.
Person who asked me, what does it mean to write in third person? This is what it means. Now the critiquing. They mentioned that blah 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 blah. On the other hand, let me just create something. I want to reference here. Okay, if it has not picked it, I come back to I click on my reference. I go to my tools, cite while I write, insert. Yeah. But I want to use it. Argues that this intervention, intervention may not be effective for women, for teenage pregnant population. Have you seen the critiquing?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I have a question. Like the last paragraph.
There's only one paragraph here.
Yeah?
There's only one paragraph here.
I know. I mean the last sentence
Okay.
that started with they mentioned that blah blah blah. On the other hand, comma, Bell et al. Bell et al. 2017 argued that I did not know how this. I was thinking maybe they mentioned that blah blah blah. That after that Bell et al. 2000. I don't understand. I'm trying to connect it. What I'm trying to ask, like, can someone start a sentence in that format, for instance, then at the middle now you make a reference and still continue?
Yes.
Because from what I see here, they mentioned that blah blah blah. On the other hand, it's like passing a particular message. Then comma, then the Bell et al. 2017 argues that there is another message again you are trying to pass. But that other first one now, who are we referencing it to?
On the other hand is a normal sentence now. It's a normal phrase.
Okay, they mentioned that. Who are we referring to that mentioned? Is it the same Bell et al.?
Sorry, let me clarify. I think she's just trying to show us how to apply critical writing. Do you understand? Don't connect anything. She's just trying to introduce critical writing, the critical aspect of it, because she told us all this while she's been writing descriptive. Now she wants to introduce what it means to apply critical, the critical part of it. That's what she's just explaining.
No problem.
So there's no sorry, thank you, Chioma. There's no connection in these things. She's just phrasing, forming phrases to show to you how to be descriptive, how to be critical in your writing. So it's not like there's a logical connection between what
my question is it appropriate to write in past tense or in present continuous?
Very good question. You can do either of the two. However, if you choose one, you do it to the end. If you choose the other, you choose to the end. Don't mix.
Okay, thank you. Bro Anthony and Sister Ife, I don't know if you want to make any contributions to that question before we go to the next question. Anything that you think needs to be added?
Good evening, everyone. I've been trying to answer some questions on the chat box just to make things go along further quickly. But some things that I would just love to add. So I get that EndNote can be a little bit technical.
Clumsy. Clumsy is the word.
Clumsy is the word. Thank you. And you would have to be very adept at working with multiple screens. Now, when you try to export your work from EndNote itself to Word, yes, clumsy is just how to describe it. You'll find that some of your in-text citations have been misplaced and all that. So this is what I would suggest. And it's a smart way to go about it. If you can use EndNote, fine, use. Also bear in mind that Google Scholar will not always give you the right APA referencing in the right edition that's permissible at Chester. I know Chester used to be on 6th edition, but I believe that towards last year, they upgraded to 7th edition. So that's also something for you guys to take note of. This is what I would advise you do. Google Scholar is good. As you compile your write-up, like I said, you have to be adept at working with multiple pages. And I find that it is easier for students to do that when you work on the university computers out of Seaborn or Riverside, as the case may be. Because with your own personal computers at home, you might be handicapped. Depending on the kind of computers you have. Sometimes our personal computers are so old and their processing speeds are so slow. Keep on writing your essays in normal Word. Open a different Word entirely where you dump all your references. Okay. No matter either it is a book or an article or a website, just have that bibliography on Underword, not on EndNote, because EndNote can confuse you and frustrate you.
Okay.
There is a website called Cite This For Me. Cite This For Me is very useful at helping you to copy in the right edition that is permissible. You may lose marks if what is required of you is 7th edition of the APA referencing style, and Google Scholar will probably only give you 6th edition. So, but when you use Cite This For Me, that is CITE This For Me, you can always choose the right edition to put your reference, and it will give you as it should appear in your list of bibliography. And that just makes everything easier for you. As you write in Word and you compile your references in another Word document, at the end of it, after you've proofread and looked for grammatical errors and punctuation marks and all that, all you just have to do is copy from the other Word onto the end of your own essay document. And then you can arrange that alphabetically. And that just saves you the headache. Again, if you are skilled with EndNote, fine. I used EndNote and it was useful to me, but I also found out that many times it would mumble up your work when you export to Word. So avoid that back and forth, and to make the best use of your time, just open 2 different Word documents, your essays one, and where you populate your list of bibliography. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Bro Anthony. Can I just also say to us that please, as you're doing your work, Bro Anthony has suggested that you can have a separate Word document for your references, and you're putting them in there. Please, anytime you finish with the piece of work you're doing, before you leave your laptop, please send that work to your email address. Please, it's very, very important. Time after time, we've had people losing their work, and sometimes they would have nearly finished or even finished, and then the computer will crash, or they lose the USB or whatever. But you can't ever lose your email address. Once you put it there, you can always access it through another computer or another device. But not having it in that hair, the email address, can be very dangerous, because you could lose all the hours that you have put in doing all the piece of work. So please, as you're finished part-time, just send it to yourself in your email. Just send. It doesn't take longer than 2 minutes, but it will save you from losing your work unnecessarily. So please, I just thought I should mention that. Okay.
I have put the link beside this for me. I've put it in the chat. Okay. And it is pretty straightforward. Somebody has asked for a demonstration. That's fine. Let me quickly show a demonstration. It is very, very straightforward. Very, very.
Cite it for me, you mean?
Cite it for me. The use of Cite, that website is very, very, very straightforward.
Sorry, please, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I quickly ask a question before you go to Cite it for me? Still on EndNote.
Okay. All right.
Okay, please, I want to ask, because if you have EndNote on your installed on your system, on your Word document, the panel there, you can see EndNote and you can insert your citation.
Yes.
Is there anything wrong with that? Because I noticed you didn't mention it.
No. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
You can see it on mine too. Can you see it on mine?
Yes, because that's what I use for my draft. So I'm just wondering. I hope there's no problem with it.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can use it if you can.
Okay.
I just the way I've shown is what I'm very used to. So and I'm sure there are resources that in fact there is a resource, I'm pretty sure, with LIS on how to use EndNote. And there is one for how to reference properly. If you can find your way around how to use EndNote, it's really good. It saves you. You won't forget. You won't forget any reference. But like Dr. Adelu said, if you, for any reason, start to get confused, because it's exporting from EndNote to your Word document can get clumsy. Apart from that, by the time you are finished, you think you have finished your 5,000 words, you're now looking through your references, you will see the EndNote has messed up some of the references. So you will then need to come to this EndNote here and turn it off so that you can manually make changes for the proper presentation. So even though you're using EndNote, you still need to have an idea of how APA referencing should look like. Does that make sense? So
yes,
has that answered your question?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Cite This For Me site. Okay. You have copied the reference, like Dr. Adelu said, you've put it in a document. You will choose the one that you need. You will need to choose whether it is a website or a journal or a book or journal. You then need to complete sites manually. You then need to complete this: the names, the year, the title, the blah, 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 blah. And it says you click on complete citation. The moment you click on complete citation, it will tell you how it should appear in text, how it should appear in your reference list. Just copy it and paste. Copy and paste. It has done the work for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
I think we should go back on the ones on the chat. There are some that we haven't.
And Dr. if I may add quickly.
Yes, please.
For anyone wanting to understand how to use EndNote or this or that, LIS organizes several workshops for students at different times across the school term. So if you struggle, just walk up to them and ask when the next session on whatever it is that you're asking for would be, and they can book you onto that. Sometimes they also offer one-to-one tutorials. Maybe you need a crash course on EndNote or referencing style or what have you. You can just walk up to Sibon, speak with them, and then they will get you a slot into one of their tutorial programs, and that would help you along with that inquiry. Thank you.
They organize tutorials.
LIS organizes periodic tutorials different times during the term on how to use any LIS functionality. EndNote, some of the software, NVivo, SPSS, whatever it is, they have a timeline. Sorry, they have a timetable for all of that. So whatever it is that your needs may be, just go to Sibon or Riverside. Many of these sessions actually take place on the Park Gateway campus. So just go there and then they can get you a slot, and they would even be able to print out any materials for you to take home with you, so that on your own you can go through and teach yourself how to do some of these things. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Adelu. Please.
Hello, sorry. Hello,
yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I want to know the going to LIS library. Is it like the booking of some of these tutorials? Do we book it from our gadgets, or we can go to the school in person?
You can go to the school you can go to the LIS desk. They will tell you how to book.
Okay.
And they will also show you the dates that are already
available. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was going to say that we've noticed that international students, for whatever reason, we are just afraid to ask. Please don't be afraid to ask. You have paid your tuition. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you are not sure, go to your PAT. You will be assigned to a PAT, a personal academic tutor. If you need help, go to your PAT. Your PAT will be able to signpost you to who you need to go to. If for any reason you cannot reach your PAT, I'm here in church, let me know. And when I finish from Chester, so I might be able to signpost you to whoever might be able to help. But please ask, and keep asking. Scripture says, ask and keep asking so that you can receive.
Until your joy is full. Sorry, there's a question here that says that if I use ideas for my lecture or what my lecturer said, how can I reference it? For instance, listening to my recordings of the lecturer, and I picked some ideas there. How do I reference it?
In that booklet, in that referencing booklet from LIS, it tells you how to reference an audio recording. I don't know, I don't use it, so I really can't tell you this is what it should look like, this is what it shouldn't look like. But it will tell you how to reference your lecture notes. It will tell you how to reference the videos, audio recordings, and things like that. As long as the idea is not yours, you've got to reference it.
And just to add quickly to that, so basically, whatever program that you are running, things are now evidence-based. So whatever your lecturer must have said during the lecture would have been or should be from an original source. You know, could either be from the originator of that idea or from their own personal scholarly
studies, research.
Yeah. Now, referencing what was said in a lecture is not a conventional way to reference because it can be verified. You know, but like I said, many of the things that your lecturer would tell you will also be evidence-driven. So it's always safer to reference the source, the primary source of that knowledge. There is nothing that your lecturer will tell you that would be their own abstract knowledge. No, I don't think there would be anything like that. It would also be from a peer-reviewed scholarly work. So just to be on the safe side, you can ask your lecturer, oh, where did this come from? Who said this? Because when you do that, it gives your examiner a sense that you have done your homework. Examiners appreciate when you actually cite the primary source of any theory or any idea. It shows that yes, you have really done your homework. Because I just evolved, but there just like Satuk said, there will always be some extant knowledge that won't change. You know, like White and Dahlgren's model for social determinants of health. Those things will not change. You know, they'll be there. So if that is what your lecturer has said, rather for you to say, oh, lecturer said in one lecture, just go to cite the primary source, and then that saves you a lot of back. Because just as been mentioned earlier, you don't know what mood your lecturer, your examiner would be when they are marking your essays. So as much as possible, you want them to have least stress or least headache marking your essays. My own mentor had a style. If within 1 hour it takes 2 cups of tea reviewing your essay, you're more than likely to fail. Because him taking more than 1 cup of tea in an hour reviewing your essay means the essay is already doing his head. Like, what is this person writing? So as much as possible, make it easy for the examiner to assess and access your writing.
Yeah. Remember, I said marking is very subjective. That is part of the subjectivity that Dr. Anthony has said. They try to put things in place. That is true, but your marker state of mind matters. So make it easy for the marker to give you a good mark, really.
I
was going to say something else. Sorry, before I shut up, there's a question I have seen. Before I answer that question, I beg in the name of God, please make sure you proofread your work. Please make sure. Make sure you, especially for English.
Yeah.
Make sure you have written good English. Because the truth is, if you haven't written good English, you have already, the possibility that your marker will be drinking more than 2 cups of tea in an hour is 100%. And you don't want that. So proofread your work, make sure you are writing good English, along with the fact that you're supposed to be writing in academic style. Yeah, Dr. Efe, you want to say something?
That was actually what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I wanted to talk more about them giving enough time. I know, thank you, Sister Tokes and Bro Anthony. I mean, you've said a lot of things this evening. I mean, when it comes to, I think a lot of Nigerian students do have issues with maybe the way we put down our sentences. Sometimes like you're writing Nigeria English. So we have to learn how to put in, to write like a scholar. You need to learn that. And I remember when Branton was talking about this issue of using end notes and not end notes. I did not use end notes then. So I will tell people that try and understand yourself very well. By the time you write the first essay, you should know what you are actually capable of. Then I knew I wouldn't. I was, like he said, I was copying I knew that was probably, I was thinking, oh, I was wasting time, but I knew that I was doing the right thing, I knew I wouldn't make any mistakes. So I was just putting my things in, I open another page for Microsoft Word and put all my reference. So I was not, doing the one Sister Talks. So just try and understand the one that you think will help you better, or that you think you are capable of doing. And also when Sister Talk mentioned the use of English, now that was actually what I wanted to talk about. I've seen a lot of students that will come to me when their submission is tomorrow, and then they bring essay to me today. And I will smile, because it's obvious that I could not, there was nothing I could do. I'm working class woman with children and all that. So if you want people to help with probably proofread or anything, you need to give enough time to submission. Give yourself even enough time to proofread your work. Sometimes when you go back to what you've written, even you yourself, you will be smiling that, did I really put this down? So you need to give yourself enough time to read it again and again and understand. I know then some of my mates use Grammarly to correct their English. It's very good. If you could lay your hand on the app, you could use it. That will help again to, to a lot of spelling mistakes and some sentences, how to put them in a better way that a British lecturer will understand better. And someone else I'm just trying to emphasize about asking. I think people have this opinion that lecturers, because the way lecturers are in Nigeria, they want to fail you. No, that's not it here. You need to go to your PAT and PAT and ask questions. They are here to help you. They're going to even give you what will make you pass. So they're not the type that want to give you like a trap to fail you. Not talking, it's the worst thing here. So I don't see any reason why you should be scoring less than 50 and keeping quiet. You need to go back to that lecturer, let him or her bring out your essay and tell you what you've done wrong, so that you will not make the same mistake. But if you keep quiet, then you keep failing. So you need to know what exactly it is that you are doing wrong, and getting it right in the first place will help you. If in your first essay you're able to score distinction, that boldness is already there. You are capable of doing it. So you need to get it right from the first essay, from your first assignment. You need to get it right. I know there is this thing of trying to balance work here. You need to pay bills and this, that, but you need to also understand yourself. Give enough time to make sure you get a quality grade out of your master's program, so that you'll be able to use your certificate later in the future.
Thank you very much, our facilitators. Okay. My question still goes to this issue of plagiarism. You know that if a lecturer gives you an assignment to work on, you definitely do not have any idea that it's of your own until you begin to read articles and generating idea from those articles. Now, if you read articles and then you're able to now generate your own idea from different articles, are you still going to reference that, or it's your own idea? Because I'm still a bit confused on this issue of plagiarism, and I really want to get it right.
Okay, can I answer the question? I know Sister Talks definitely, she has answered that question before anyways, but there's really nothing that is your idea here. You are putting people's idea together and critically analyzing it, and then you are putting it down in your own words. So you need to cite those people you got that idea from. It is someone else's that has written that article. There's really nothing new under the earth, and nothing is new. Whatever topic you are doing, there are people that have done, that have done scholarly written articles about it in the past. You need to reference them. Okay. The only thing, like Sister Talks said, that you don't reference is, universally things that it's like white and black. But other than things that are generally known, you will always see that someone has done something about it. And there is a different way that you can paraphrase things. You're paraphrasing, you are critically thinking, analyzing things in your own way, but it's not your idea. You did not just wake up from your sleep and put those things together. You saw it somewhere, then you critically think about it, and then you rearrange it in the way you think you could explain it in your own word better, but it's not your idea. So you still need to cite.
And if I may add to what Steife has just said. So at level 7, what they're looking for is how can you synthesize knowledge and draw something out of it. Have that at the back of your mind.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How can you synthesize knowledge and draw conclusions from it? Mind you, the conclusions that you draw from it are not just your own abstract thinking. When we say critical analysis, this said this, and this agreed with this. However, this had a different opinion. But why does this have a different opinion? Oh, possibly because of different methodology or different area of conducting the research or other confounding variables. That's critical thinking. So you are bringing ideas you are bringing evidence from different people and putting all that together and making sense of it and telling your examiner, this is what this thing means to me. But even what it means to you has to be corroborated because somebody already must have either agreed or disagreed with what it means to you. That is critical thinking. Yeah. The British way of education is such that it's more depth than width. Back home in Nigeria, they teach us based on width. It has to be wide. That is why somebody studying medicine will still be doing further mathematics or physics or this or that. But the British style is you pick one and you dig deep. And in you digging deep, they want to understand that what exactly did you make out of this? So even when you conclude, given the suppositions of X, Y, and Z 2020 as already implied by X, Y, Z 2019, it therefore it can be concluded that A plus B equals to C as established by X, Y, Z 2021.
Correct.
That is just what. Now they have seen that you have done your work. You have read all these different people, and then you have made sense of it. The only time that you may be allowed to have your independent thinking is at level 8 when you move on to a doctorate, because a doctorate is an independent research, your own work, your own brain, you, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. But at level 7, please. When we write, and someone talked about grammar, we've talked a lot about grammar because of where we have come from and our style. Please pay attention to grammar. the more you read all these articles, the more you build your own vocabulary of scholarly language. Rather than write get, I got, you can use obtain.
Yeah.
You know, aha. Just the more you read, the more you are able to pick up all this vocabulary. And if you actually make that a habit, before long, you would write flawlessly. There's something I also want to mention, please. The Chester culture is that as much as possible, keep your references to within the last 3 to 5 years. 5 years is even a long time. Keep it within 3 to 5 years. So if you're going to be writing a paper, an essay over the winter, keep your references anything 2000 and anything from 2018, 2017. Because when it becomes
2017, actually 16, 17, 18, 19.
Because when it becomes too aged, then it may not represent contemporary knowledge.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Brown, Tony, Sister Ife, and Sister Talks. I believe we've gone through all these questions.
I think we've gone through the questions.
Except somebody feels that their own question have not been addressed, please feel free to ask it. Some people have asked about particular font size and line spacing and all of that. All of that will be contained in your module handbook anyway, and you can always confirm from the lecturer as well which one you're using per module, but usually they put it in the module handbook. If you read through, you will see the fonts they want you to use, the size and all of that in it.
There's a question about EndNotes. Yes, there's a question here that if you download it, will it automatically sync with your Word documents? I don't know, because you're not supposed to. I don't know. The best way to do is to take your laptop to LIS. LIS will tell you what to do. Because the institution already pays for subscription, they will tell you how to download it, what to do to sync with your Word document. I can't answer that question, sorry.
I think you've answered. The best thing is to take it to the people.
The LIS, yeah.
They will always help you with it. So they help you to download it. If there's any problem with syncing, they can address it.
They will sync for you, yes.
So someone's asking, LIS organized what? I did not hear you properly, please.
Already answered. It was when Anthony said that the periodic tutorials on LIS.
Just for how to reference and use EndNotes and all that. So they do all that for you guys. So you could always go there to find out more.
The question is, must it be a recent reference? Yeah, well, at Chester, I've heard 5 years. At BCU, we use 10 years. So it depends. I think find out from your department and look at your handbook. Your program handbook should also contain that information, the age of your references. That being said, there are some information that are the original. Remember, Dr. Anthony talks about the primary source. There are some information that the primary source will be in the 1980s, in fact, some 1920 something, which haven't changed at all. You must have a very, very good reason for you to use something like that. It must be that is that's the primary source. It must be that. If that is not the primary source, then please, like Dr. Anthony has said, within 5 years for Chester.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Some people are asking how will they get this recording, and somebody has put their email address up here, but I will suggest that you all send your email address to me. Then we will send it out to your email addresses if you want the recording for this talk. Okay. Okay, any other question? I think we've addressed all the ones that I'm seeing here.
There's a question here, but I don't understand, from Chibuzo. I don't understand the question.
Me neither. Maybe Chibuzo should just address us, and then we can understand what it's trying to ask.
Okay.
Sister Deswa, do you want to give your do you want to give your contact?
I think she's yeah, if you want Sister Deswa's contact, please text me. I will text it to you. I don't want to put it up publicly, but if you want it, I'll text it to you, because I don't think it's everyone that needs it. So if bro, is it Chibuzo that is asking a question that is not clear?
Yes.
If you can ask verbally so that it can be addressed.
Okay. Hello, ma.
Hello.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Thank you, ma, for the lectures and advice. What I asked is, for instance, if I'm considering maybe I'm writing a literature review, maybe I want to write about all the published articles in terms of maybe urinary tract infection diseases in Chester. Does date matter? For instance, I want to gather all the materials so that I'll be able to write on all of them. Does the date of publication matter?
Okay, so I think I get what your question. That's what Dr. Anthony just mentioned now, that the date of publication of whatever article you are citing should be within the last 5 years. Is that what you're asking?
No, I mean in a situation whereby I am supposed to gather all the published articles about the topic maybe writing a literature review on. And there are some published articles that maybe that were published in 1980, 1992.
It is important that you understand your assessment very, very well. I don't think there'll be an assessment that you'll be asked to write out or to find out all the published article in a particular subject area. I don't think that can happen.
You can't even exhaust all anyway. You won't be able to exhaust all. I think the most important thing is to make sure that over 80% or 80% of your references are within the last 4 years. You can still have one or two, from previous years or longer years, but let most of them be current years, because for example, even when you think maybe this idea is mine, put it on Google. You will see other people who have that same idea. Reference them, because the more you reference, the more marks you get, actually. So if you want to claim it's mine and so I'm not going to reference, then you're losing out, really. That's the truth. Because the more you can buttress the fact that you have researched whatever things you're putting down, the more marks you get. So reference. And in this case of how long should it be, try to make it as current as possible. As current as possible. That would be the best.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Just one more question before we round up the discussions. Okay, so if we're asked to write for instance, a 1,500 words, and now that we have to be doing a lot of referencing, is our references going to be part of the 1,500 words we're supposed to write, or they are going to be excluded?
That is why it is 1,500 plus or minus 10%.
Okay. Okay.
I think it will also be added to your assessment brief too, whether it will be part the word count to be part of the referencing or not. The assessments we got that detail there to say, okay, your in-text citations will be part of your word count, but your bibliography at the end will not be part of
Yeah.
So those details were in the assessment brief.
But that is why your number, word count, your reference list will not be part of your word count. But that's why your word count is plus or minus 10% to give allowance for all these in-text citations.
Okay. All right.
So the one in your essay will be counted, but your bibliography
will not
be part of it.
Or shouldn't be part of your
It will not even shouldn't. It will not be part of it.
I'm only saying that because, you know, some people will say, okay, I can still count it as part of the words. No.
No.
Yeah, it's not
no.
It's not part
You'll be doing yourself a disservice if you count it. Don't.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, and just a quick tip. A quick tip. Personally, I'm pro work smart and not work hard. Where we come from, they ask us to work hard and so work smart, please. When for you to get the most contemporary evidences from Google Scholar, there is a range. There is this part where you can define from when to when. So that can also help you. In that way, when you put those date stamps there, it will only give you scholarly work that's been done on that topic within maybe the past 10 years, the past 7 years. And that helps narrow down the amount of work that you have to do. Chester culture is very helpful. Please ask. I just want us to be careful when we ask and we don't get quick responses. Let us understand that the British people are a very organized people. Sometimes you need to book appointments to be able to see them. Why? Because sometimes they don't come to work every day of the week. Some already have booked holidays. Some have time off for their own research work as part of their statutory obligation to the university. So if you need to see your PhD or any lecturer for anything, email them and book an appointment, and they'll be happy to have you come in at their earliest convenience, and you can ask them all your questions. During my time, I used Nehemiah 1:11 a lot, because state of mind is very, very important. Marking is subjective. Yes, there is a marking criteria there to reduce the subjectivity, but people are people. And that's why you see that many universities utilize computer software to reduce, to very much lower the influence of bias and subjectivity. I'm just going to be realistic. Some people may not just like you, not because you've particularly done anything to them, and they won't declare that they don't like you, and you have no idea that they don't like you, and they don't have to like you. That's just the truth. But because we are Christians, and because of the grace that the blood of Christ has gained for us, our race has been fixed. Our race has been fixed. You will win. And when you use the word to fight, you will definitely be victorious. So all through my time in Chester as a student, even as a lecturer, whenever I needed to fix a panel or whatever, use the word ahead. And Nehemiah 1:11 worked for me a lot. No matter whatever is happening in our home, in our job, no matter whatever mood is in, that woman must see me and just favor me. So I think that when we use all these tools that we have, we will win. And CLC, I will forever be grateful to CLC. CLC shaped me a lot as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a student, as a lecturer, as a Christian. Because, like Pastor Matthew said, everything that happens in the physical has already been settled in the spiritual. So when you settle your case in the spiritual, you will win.
Thank you very much for that, Brother Anthony.